Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you a brand new pack from Teton Sports. It's their Grand 5500. Don't go anywhere, you're watching Living Survival. So the Grand 5500 is the largest pack in their Blackout series. Blackout because they're blacked out, of course, and that's fantastic. This is a 90-liter pack, 5,500 cubic inches, and so there is a ton of room for gear. Let's see how it looks on the body. Up front here you have some nice shoulder straps. They're padded in the shoulders, but then they dip off in the bottom, and that's the first time I've seen that, which is pretty cool. So you have air mesh here up top where you need the support, and then it kind of contours into more of a flat design on the bottom, which is great because when you have a heavy load on here where it tucks down on your sides, you really don't want to have that sticking out. So it's very form-fitting. Again, you're going to see some very nice features on this pack that you would usually see on something that's much higher priced. You have the elastic webbing here for the sternum strap, a built-in whistle. That's very nice, and it's orange, so it's very easy to see. Typical D-rings on the shoulder straps, and then up top you have the stabilizer straps that helps bring the top of the pack in. The hip belt is nice as well, especially since you adjust it from the outside in. That's awesome when you have a very heavy pack. You can throw the hip belt on, and then you can quickly strap it shut by pulling on the sides, and then you can quickly release tension on the hip belt just by pulling back on the buckles there. Tighten it back up just by pulling. I really like that, especially in a heavier pack. On the side here, there's two very large webbing loops. You could stick a tool down through there. You could, of course, use carabiners and clip gear and stuff like that to hang off there. And then on the other side, there's a nice pocket handy for quick access items like keys, maybe some chapstick, a snack bar, camera, things like that. As I said, up top you have the stabilizer straps. You also have two stabilizer straps at the back of the hip belt. So you can pull those to bring the back of the pack even closer in to your hip region and help support a heavier load. Very large elastic pockets. What's really nice about those large pockets is when you have something like a water bottle in there, it's very easy to get out. It's also very easy to put right back in. That's something that's hard to find on a good backpacking pack. The whole pack is 420D, and again, for the price, you're getting some great material here. The nylon seems to work really well. Again, I stressed this pack a lot this weekend with lots of gear, and it held up really well. I do like the fact that they have these very easy large pull zips. The zips seem to be all self-healing and, you know, wrapped for the weather, which is nice. So right at the top of the lid you have these two webbing straps, which are large enough to hold a pretty large rolled up foam pad here. So what they do is they just buckle together. You could stash stuff in here, or you can use it as a loop and stash stuff right onto the top of the lid. So that's nice. We'll go into the more into the lid in a moment. On the front here you have this removable pack that clips on to the pack, but it could also be worn as a backpack standalone. The backpack detaches easily. You just unclip it from all four corners here. You certainly don't need to take this with the pack, but it is nice to have so that you have an extra little pack that you can tote things around camp with. So once you have this part detached, you can just lengthen the straps all the way out and then clip it one side into the other, and then it just becomes a great little backpack that you could load up and take with you on a short hike or short scout. On the bottom here you have a separate compartment for a sleep system, sleeping bag for example, and it's also accessible from the inside, meaning there's a flap in there that you can unzip, use the whole compartment, or you can use this as a separate compartment, which I find is pretty nice. On this side of the pack you have a zip which allows access into the main compartment. The zip on the other side, as we'll look at in a moment, is its own compartment, but this one allows you to grab things the whole length of the pack, which is nice. That's a great feature. And again, you have these very large pockets on the bottom. I stuffed a whole cot in here, and as well as you know, an axe and other tools, poles for my teepee for example, and this whole compartment here is large enough to do that. And then of course you can use the side compression straps to help lash that stuff in. Flipping it on over to the other side here, you can see that this is just an individual pocket, which is nice. I thought at first it was going to be two entrances into the main pocket. I'm glad that they thought outside the box there and just made a separate gear compartment. Now on the bottom of the pack, they have what's called these gear loops. So you can use this to make a loop to stick something like an axe down. So inside this Velcro pocket at the bottom here, you have this flap that pops out. Basically, this is just a gear flap. It's not really big enough in my opinion. I'd rather just have two straps that are large enough to lash something on, but it's there. There's one up top as well. So on to the most important thing about a pack is the frame system, or the stabilizer system. Again, I showed you the shoulder straps, very nice. They have the air mesh that goes down into a little bit thinner air mesh. I find that's a great combo there. They have these very nice padded sort of upper back supports, and then a very large hip belt, which is very comfortable, especially when you have a lot of weight on there. It is fully adjustable. You can adjust it up and down depending on your torso size, and again, you have air mesh all throughout the bottom. So up top here, you have an adjustable lid. It can adjust way up so that you can load lots and lots of gear. In here, we can go ahead and just unclip it. Before we do so, on the back here, there is a zip which you can use to access the top lid. I just have the included tarp that comes with this pack. A very awesome bonus there. So once you unclip the top lid, it just flips over, is fully adjustable. And then you have another pocket in here, which is nice, that you can use to store other quick access items like maybe a toiletry kit or your food. Again, up top here, you have another one of these gear rolls. This one is the same as the bottom. This is how you use it. You kind of just attach it onto itself, and then you can throw something in there and then just store it right on the top of the lid. The nice thing about that is that it's going to secure your gear so that even if you have your top lid not as tight as it should be, your gear isn't going to slip out of either side because it's got a lot of support coverage here. The downfall is that I don't think that they included enough webbing here because it only gets so large. So I'd like to see more webbing on the top and bottom as far as those supports go. So you have a very large main compartment. Again, this can adjust all the way up, and then you would throw your top lid over that. On the inside here, you do have a sleeve in the back as well as a little hook here to be able to throw in hydration. Of course, it is hydration compatible, and then you'd run your tubes out these little flaps here. Not so sure how well you're going to be able to see down in here, but this goes all the way down into that flap for your sleeping compartment down there. You can also unzip that flap and use the whole interior as one if you'd like to do so. Another pretty cool feature on the inside is that you have a gear loop here, and then one further down. You can use that to quickly clip things onto, like rope or other items that you want quick access to, and then they just lay down the sides of the pack. So even when you have it full, you can just unclip and pull out that piece of gear, maybe put a first aid kit in that way. So that's pretty cool as well, and those are on both sides of the internal. Another great feature of this pack is the included poncho slash tarp shelter. It's got very nice webbing sewn onto it, not just grommets, which is nice. It's large and a bright color, so you could use it for signaling. I believe it is a polyurethane coated tarp. It does feel rather sticky on the one side. Rip stop, so it's going to be very durable. Throw it over your head that way, and then you have an instant poncho, which is large enough to fit over the pack as well on the back. You can see it is rectangular, so it would make a great improvised shelter. Very multifunctional, and it's awesome that it comes included with the pack. So certainly a pack that I'm very happy with. It's a large pack, 90 liters. I would use that pretty much only in the winter when I needed to take a lot of gear, extra sleep system, for example. They do make several other packs in their Blackout series, as well as some other packs not in the Blackout series. I think the Blackout is pretty dang cool. It comes with that included tarp poncho, which is awesome. I like the fact that it's got high quality material, high quality nylon, high quality buckles as far as I can tell. The use that I've put it through, lashing things extremely tight, putting the webbing out to as far as it can go and stretching it and lashing it, nothing has come apart on me. I like the very large side pockets. Again, very easy to grab things like a water bottle, and then you have a lot of room to stuff things down the side like I did with the cot and the poles and tools and things like that. I like the position of all the zips, the easy access to all the compartments pretty much from any side of the pack, and that cool little backpack that fits on the front. Not only can it be used as sort of a beaver tail, you can extend the webbing out and you can place larger items in there, maybe a wet tarp, or I put the stove to my teepee in there this past weekend, or you can detach it all together and use it as a small small backpack. So some cons for me would be that the webbing for the lashing on the bottom and the top of the pack could be a little bit longer, so I could more easily get things on it like a rolled up bedroll. I had to extend the webbing all the way out to get the Thermarest roll up pad on there. It did work, but it'd be nice if there was some additional webbing. I'm not really a big fan of those gear holsters. I'll probably end up cutting them off and just extending the webbing. So they could be very helpful for smaller items, but things like a roll-up pad are things that I would typically lash onto the bottom of the pack, so I would like to see some longer webbing. You're getting a lot of bang for the buck with this pack, especially with that included tarp poncho. I'm going to leave some links below to Teton Sports website where you can check out things like dimensions and other features not mentioned in this video, as well as check out the rest of their blackout line and all of their other products as well. I'm also going to place a link below to this pack on Amazon where you can see current pricing and pick one up for yourself. Anything that you purchase through my Amazon link does help support the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Please give it a big thumbs up for me. Leave me some comments below. Be sure to share this to your friends and family who might be interested in a larger backpacking style pack like this. Of course, you can follow me on all my social networks. They're listed below. Just click show more. Also below, you're gonna find a red subscribe button. If you haven't already done so, please click that and subscribe for more videos.